My kayak is taking in a lot of water. So I've washed ashore on this thing. I don't think a lot of people have necessarily been up in here. I found this interesting looking island in the Florida Bay, just on the edge of Everglades National Park. I also found this weird line cutting straight through the ocean floor, as well as a bunch of odd circular islands over here. So I took a kayak to Key Largo, set sail, and recorded what I found. So the first order of business was to find out what these 5 islands were like. Were these actually land masses, or are they some sort of mangroves or something else? I also wanted to check out this little channel up here and see what it led into. As you go back on the Google Earth historic imagery, you can see that these islands actually shrink over time. Also, I noticed a small little dot in the middle of this little lagoon, so I wanted to check out what that was too. And here's what these small islands looked like in 1999. Obviously, they grew over time. So I got a pretty small kayak and I'm actually able to go decently fast in this thing. So I'm approaching these trees right here. Oh gosh, that's hit them. It's hard to record and kayak at the same time. So it's pretty dense foliage in here and you can't really go too deep into this area. The interesting thing is you can see a lot of like iguanas around here and sometimes they're getting together. So I don't know if we'll see that today. So I'm just parked here and you can see how dense this foliage is. I mean, if you tried to climb through this stuff, it would just be a nightmare. But obviously that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm just looking for anything interesting I can see in here. A lot of small fish too. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, there's a lot of little fish down there. There seems to be some little inlet in here, so let's go check that out. So it's interesting because it just goes like in a straight line back there. So I wonder if this was a man-made trail of some sort. It seems weird that everything is gone just like that, but I don't know. The ground here looks so cool too. Look at these. I don't know if they're flowers or what they are. I'll have to look them up after I film this, but just kind of floating along with the water there. So now I found myself in a cute little lagoon. It's like nothing going on here, but it's really cool. It's just so pristine. I'm trying to see if I can find any iguanas or any animals around here. Earlier there were dolphins out there. I'll show you a video that I got. There's a little bridge to go under, but there's a lot of rocks sticking up out of the ground, so I don't want to run ashore on those things. Let's see if we can find what's going on here. This is so cool. These things are obviously maintained by humans because how cleanly cut they are, but it's so cool. And here's some of those circles up there. Here it is. This is actually way cooler than I would have thought on Google Maps. These things are way bigger than I thought. I feel like when you look at Google Maps, things just look smaller because you're comparing it to everything around, but you're actually there in person. I mean, this thing is huge. Let's see if we can find anything else interesting, or that one rock that's sticking up out of the ground, because that's what I kind of wanted to see back here. So there's the little unnamed rock that's in the middle of this little lagoon. Let's go check out what it looks like closer to it. So I've washed ashore on this thing, but it's just a few little rocks sticking up out of the ground. This is kind of what a lot of Sweden's islands are, supposed 300,000 islands. They're just a bunch of rocks sticking up out of the ground. So would you even consider this an island necessarily? Because it's not habitable, it doesn't have any size, it may not even be a permanent structure. Floating away from it now, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. And it could be man-made as well, who knows? People put a bunch of rocks there to maybe form another one of those circle structures, but just never got around to it. It's hard to see in video, but there's like a line. Here, I'll go back and show you it, but it's like a line that I wonder if it's due to the water levels. But holy crap, I found myself in some sort of little river back here. I guess let's go in here and see what's going on. Oh my gosh, it's so shallow that my kayak's not even gonna make it through here, honestly. There's a huge spider web right there too. I don't know if you can see it, but right. There's the spider. So I don't know. I don't think I want to go in here, but what the heck is this? It's just a little river to somewhere. I wonder if that connects to the Gulf over there. Here's what I'm talking about, that white line. It just goes up to a couple feet or less than a meter up on these trees. So I wonder if that's like the highest level that water gets to with waves or tides. But I'm back to that tiny rock, and it's so cool. You can see all the little shells and all the old markings on this thing. That's so cool. I wonder if technically this is some guano buildup too, because there are a lot of birds here that do poop on these things. So this might be the next guano island. Found another one of these seemingly man-made trails that just seems to like go to nowhere. I don't want to walk up there because I don't want to disturb any of the wildlife, but it's so random how there's just a little corridor here and it goes to a little muddy area. Seems to maybe be cut down a while ago, but then there's really nothing going on in here, so that's kind of bizarre. There's one little or two little branches sticking out of the ocean right there, so I want to see what that's about. So here are those little trees. I felt them. They're very, very soft. So it's not actually that deep here, probably like 4 to 5 feet deep, so you could stand here most of the time. I do want to go explore this area. See that little pole that's sticking up over there, and then where those boats are going is the Intracoastal Highway. So that's kind of what I want to examine next. I don't have enough time today, but I will be coming back. It seems like on maps there's a little corridor here, so I'm gonna go check that out too. All right, we're in this little corridor here. It's kind of cool. It's like hollowed out in a certain width, so I think some of this is probably man-made. It's so hard to kayak and record at the same time, but oh, there's a sign up there. It just says no wake zone, a quiet zone. So definitely cannot get up to that speed in this kayak. So I made it through, and this area is pretty sick. I don't necessarily want to show anyone specific houses, but you can kind of imagine what it's like. There's a bunch of really nice boats and a bunch of really nice houses. So now we're just in this bay right here, and I forgot, what is the name of this gulf that's over here? Gulf of Canada, right? Gulf of, just joking, but it's pretty cool. Those things are like, those islands over there, like a mile away. All right, for this first day's adventure, we ended up going about 1.5 miles, 48 minutes, so tomorrow's is gonna be a bit further than this. My goal for the second day was to explore these islands right here, the Swash Keys. More specifically, these are the upper Swash Keys. I also wanted to see what this Baker Cut was. This line that's cutting through the ocean floor here is called the Intracoastal Highway, and it's really cool because if you zoom out, it goes through almost the entire bit of the Florida Keys. But the interesting thing is the Intracoastal Highway actually goes almost all throughout the eastern side of the US, as well as going up the Mississippi. Basically, from what I was reading and from being around here, a lot of this area is super shallow, so you have to have a little bit that's deeper so a lot of boats can pass through this without their rudders and the bottom of the boat hitting the ocean floor. I was also interested in this Swash Key specifically because it looked like it had a little inland part right here. I couldn't tell if it was land or if this was a little lagoon in the middle, so I wanted to check that out. Also, when you zoom in right next to the Baker Cut, you can see what seems to be a pole or antenna of some sort, and that's kind of what I alluded to earlier, so we're gonna have to check that out too. So I'm like a quarter mile into the ocean now. I'm trying to get to it with my friend too. I'm trying to get over there. It's pretty wavy over here, so it's a little more difficult than yesterday. I'm decently far from any land at all right now. Sorry about the wind, but it's pretty dang wavy. Water's coming into this thing, and it's not looking good right now, but I definitely think we can get to the peninsula. You can start to see the pole showing up that I was talking about. And there's some of the poles for the Intracoastal Highway as well. So to my left is the Swash Keys, and then to my right is one of the peninsulas for Key Largo. So getting really close now. So here's what the pole looks like. It just has two boards on top that are connected, but it doesn't have anything else. It's right next to the Intracoastal Highway. There's, I think, mile marker 57 or something. I see those all the time. Those keep you, on the right side. side. So that's the Intracoastal cut right there. We're pretty dang far from everything else right now, but we made it to the end of that peninsula basically, and it looks just like the other area. My kayak is taking in a lot of water. This is what I had to put my phone in, and of course it's completely soaked now in my water bottle. So these are just gonna chill here in this little pool on the way back. This front area is a little soaked too, so it is what it is. It's making it a little harder. And the wind is picking up, as you can hear, but well, we're gonna go check out the other side over there. Okay, so we made it to the Swash Key. I've set foot here. There's just a little piece of land that you can stand on the very edge of the peninsula. I thought this was snow at first. Obviously it's not, it's just a bunch of foam. I don't know if many people have really been on this place before. There's not much room to move at all here. So at this point I entered that interior part of Swash Key in that little lagoon. So I'm just showing you around there right now. So this is what the middle of the Swash Keys are like. It's very peaceful. It's like less than a foot deep. Not a lot going on here. It's really cool. I don't think a lot of people have necessarily been up in here. Really quiet here. There's like no wind compared to out in the Gulf, which had a lot of wind. So super cool. I gotta come see this. Circular thing right here, probably man-made because of how circular it is, but some of the coral looking structures are so cool. Like that one, it's hard to see. There's a lot of other ones like this, kind of look like Christmas trees. It's much calmer on this side of the Swash Keys because we're out of the wind right here. There's a little entrance right there, but so peaceful. But unfortunately we're gonna have to go. We've already traveled around about 1.74 miles, 54 minutes, and we're gonna have to go back basically that far too. So this is gonna be long. My hip flexors are already sore. All right, we're gonna head back. Made it out of the Swash Keys. Gotta head back to the mainland. Holy crap. I've just been kayaking like for 20 minutes straight against the wind. Sorry it's so blurry, but this is rough. I mean, the wind is just blowing so hard. Oh my God, help me. Holy crap, okay, we're almost back. But oh my God, it's been a grind. Just constant waves and wind in my face. But you know what? That's what it takes to explore, so I gotta do it. And look, now I'm tilting. The second I stop paddling, start tilting and moving the other way. Okay, I hit about 3.24 miles, hour 37. Holy crap, the last like 20 to 30 minutes was rough. It's just sailing straight into the sea. Almost back, thank God. This is the Strava map of day 2 of kayaking, and I honestly stayed pretty straight when going through the ocean. So GeoWizard, I think we need to have a straight line mission of kayaking sometime. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I know this is a different style of video, and I'm really trying to improve my skills and editing and how I do this. So let me know if there's any improvements I make. Obviously, the audio is a big thing. I plan to do more in-person adventures as well as just explorations on Google Maps and online. So you'll be seeing more of that in the future. If you like this video, you'll probably like this one in the bottom left corner as well. Thanks for watching.